Hello and welcome back. Today is Wednesday, July 12th. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're having an amazing summer so far. I've definitely taken some time to enjoy myself, but hey, I'm locked and loaded. It is the NBA offseason. I'm going to be talking about my winners and losers so far that I think of the NBA offseason. A little bit of news and notes around the league to start it off as well. Got the NBA tournament that's pretty new and exciting to talk about. As always, if you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Makes me know you like the content. Let's just jump into it. All right. News and notes real quick from around the league. So we've kind of gotten some news about Damian Lillard the other day where it seems like the Blazers front office is willing to wait it out for Damian Lillard on a trade partner. As all signs and probably what you and me are both thinking, he's going to end up in Miami anyways, but they're going to be holding off on that. Probably going to make Miami really work for it or try to find a third team for the deal to sweeten up the pick swaps. I just don't think that the Blazers want Tyler Hero, to be honest with you. They have Scoot Henderson. They have Sharp as well. You got already a pretty great backcourt or a pretty young backcourt. So adding Tyler Hero to that backcourt, which just kind of doesn't really make sense to me where they're trying to be going for the future. But it's going to be interesting what to see the trade packages. Maybe Tyler Hero gets sent to that other team and more draft capital gets sent to the Blazers. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But it definitely does not seem like anytime soon that Dame is going to be traded. He's going to be traded because, a little spoiler alert for my winners and losers, Scoot Henderson is going to be a superstar. He looked incredible in those few games. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Then a little other news and notes that I kind of find a little interesting so far is how Jaylen Brown has yet to be signed by the Boston Celtics. It's been like a good few weeks since the start of free agency. They've been able to offer him this Supermax extension for quite a while now, and they've yet to get it done. Maybe they're just hammering out the extra details of the trade, but I kind of find it a little interesting that he hasn't signed it. Maybe they're trying to get their foot in the door with the Damian Lillard trade, but I'm definitely pretty curious on why this is taking a little longer than normal. Sometimes you would think that a team would want to sign their superstar guy right away, but hey, no harm, no foul. I'm waiting for it, I guess. But I find that pretty interesting. Then James Harden, they had a few tweets the other day saying that James Harden's probably going to be returning to the 76ers. I find that a little interesting as well. He kind of forced his way that Doc Rivers to be fired, then right away announced it wanted to be traded. 76ers did a pretty good coaching hire with Nick Nurse there, and it's pretty interesting that they've not extended Tyrese Maxey as well. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on as well, because if he could be a part of the Damian Lillard trade, a team of Harden, Damian Lillard, and Embiid, that sounds like a superstar big three team and potentially championship team. Superstar big team. That doesn't really make sense. But a big three overall, though. I'm excited to see what they do. They're probably going to end up trading Harden since he has requested it. But if I would have to pick a team, it'd probably be the Clippers, because it seems like all signs seem like that was going to be a marriage right there. But he's looking like he's going to be going back to the 76ers as of today. With James Harden, that can change within an instant. Could change once he shows up to training camp. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. And then we got an announcement of the NBA tournament to start off the season. It's going to start around November 3rd and go to the 28th for like those group stages plays. Probably going to show like the little area right here where they had like Team A, TB, TC. But we had all those teams announced and their groupings. They're going to be playing on 2 away games and 2 home games from what I read from that. And from there, they're going to go to a knockout stage in early December. Beautiful timing, I think, by the NBA, picking that little dead zone in the NFL where a lot of more teams have buys, and then the post-college football where there's not many games. They're waiting for that bowl season to start. So I think it's perfect timing by the NBA. Gets people to stay involved with the NBA, because it's normally a lot more casual fans just join in during the Christmas games, even if they do watch it or not. But NFL's kind of taken over that as of recently. But most NBA casuals join around Christmas, and then they don't care until All-Star break. So it's going to be interesting to see how the numbers look overall with this NBA tournament. I'm excited to see it overall played. Maybe the Chicago Bulls take it a little more seriously since it is earlier in the season, but probably won't. We had the Celtics in that conference, so that's going to be brutal to play them. But hey, we had a winning record against winning teams. Fucking bullshit with that. But hey, I like the overall idea of it. I wish maybe it would probably be it's going to be interesting how the first year goes. Maybe more teams get more money for the incentives because the superstar players, like, are they still going to be wanting to like take rest days, or are teams going to take like the rest days going with these games? Because it is still pretty early on in the season, and normally a lot more teams play their starters a little less to start it off. So it's going to be interesting to see how it overall plays by every other team. And I'm excited to see if maybe like one of these younger teams can surprise one of these older teams and really take someone out pretty early on. So I'm pretty excited to watch this. Love the timing of it. Going to be weird for the start, but probably once December rolls around, it's going to be great. But that's a little bit enough about the news and notes from the league. Let's jump into my winners and losers of the NBA offseason so far. All right, my NBA offseason winners and losers that has been a few weeks later than a lot of other people's is, but hey, no better time than the present. So for my first winner of the NBA offseason, it's going to be probably one of the biggest losers of the last few years, is the Houston Rockets. Congratulations. You guys have had a pretty great offseason. You get to hire Ime Udoka, who's a great defensive coach that's going to help shape that Houston Rockets team that's kind of not been anything since James Harden has left, or hasn't been a thing for a little while. But I love the signing of Fred VanVleet for the team. Yes, it was the Supermax deal. Yes, he's going to be making a lot of money, but they have a very young team with some great young talent, and they all haven't really been paid yet, and they have these few-year gap where the 3 years is going to land probably pretty perfectly with Jabari Smith with his contract. Jabari Smith, holy crap, he's been absolutely nuclear in the summer league so far. He's probably been my most favorite player to watch during the summer league. Like, I'm turning on Rockets games in the summer to watch Jabari Smith play. And Therese Eason, he's been balling as well. It's been pretty great to watch them. I'm excited to see how they look during the NBA regular seasons, because it is summer league and you really can't take everything for what it is. But man, I love what the Houston Rockets have done so far, and the overall team, how they look so far, with even signing Dillon Brooks. I thought that was a pretty great signing. So they're definitely going to be a league pass team that you're going to be tuning in and enjoying it, or going to be gambling on this team to maybe have a few players go off. It's going to be fun to watch this team throughout the year. Definitely a league pass winner for me. A loser for me for the NBA offseason, going to be a little rant here, are the Chicago Bulls. Holy crap, we are running it back again. This team just continues to run it back. Jerry Reinsdorf just wants to have a team that's in the mix, but not in the mix, because we're the perfect 6th through 12th seed team, just how we are. Being an optimistic for a second, I hope that the start of the season is way better than what the start of the season was this year, with Zach LaVine being healthy. Hopefully he has this me against everyone mentality that he had against Jim Boylan to start this season, and maybe that we at the end of the season we kind of had that idea where Zach's the guy, let's let DeMar be the secondary guy. But DeMar DeRozan is pretty great too. He kind of lacks on the defensive end at times, as you watched with the Toronto Raptors and the Heat playing game at the end of the year. Teams were picking on DeMar, and DeMar maybe making some gambling plays that really didn't pay out and kind of cost this team. But we're running it back. We re-signed Vucevic to a pretty good deal overall. I like the signing of Craig, and the signing of Carter. I like those two guys being signed. It was a little more defensive, 3-and-D kind of shooters. And what we've been missing for this team overall is three-point shooting. So far with Summer League, that's been completely different, as we've been watching these last 3 games where we actually have a few guys that can shoot the 3 ball and hit a 50% chance, so maybe like one of these guys can pan out for us. But man, I'm not that high on this team going over in the season. Yeah, I'm going to have my stupid tweets saying that the Bulls are back, but it's definitely in no man's land right now, so I think we're pretty much a loser. We don't have like a top tier player, but we have a bunch of middle of the pack teams, and we maybe go on that Miami Heat run, but probably don't. So I have the Chicago Bulls as a loser so far. Another winner of the NBA offseason I have are the San Antonio Spurs. Just like everyone else, congratulations to you. Clap it up. San Antonio Spurs fans, you won the offseason. You got the prize. You got Victor Wembanyama. What a pick so far. Yeah, We saw the slapper heard around the world with Britney Spears, and that kind of played an effect in that first game. He didn't perform well, and then the second game he looked incredible again. He had a lot of those plays where you're like, holy crap, he looks like a my player. He would shoot a teardrop from one side, run under the hoop, grab the rebound, and then dunk it on the person. Guy's incredible to watch. You get to extend Greg Popovich, get to bring in that marriage for 5 more years longer, and you get to see them both, get to see Pop develop Victor and see how the game overall plays. I am concerned with Victor dribbling in the NBA. Kind of seems like a lot more players during the Summer League game, especially that game 1 where they were diving at his legs a little bit more, trying to get this steal from him. So I don't think early on he's going to be doing those dribble moves that he did in the French League, but he's still going to be incredible to watch. The pick and pop with whatever point guard that they're going to have is going to be deadly. It's going to be one of those things that you can't even stop, because if he just gets any room around the 3-point line or around the free throw line, he has a clean jumper and he's going to make it. So another league pass team that you're going to be watching every night. I know if when the Spurs come to Chicago, I'm buying a ticket and I'm going to be going to that game, because just to get to see Victor Wembanyama play is going to be awesome. I'm excited for Spurs fans. Probably going to be an honorary Spurs fan till end of Victor's career, but hey, you guys have won the NBA offseason so far. Another loser for me in the NBA offseason is the Atlanta Hawks. Kind of like the Chicago Bulls. I'm not really sure what they got going on. They re-signed DeJounte Murray to an extension. I like DeJounte Murray's game. I just don't know how I like the combo of him and Trae Young, both smaller guards. Maybe if DeJounte Murray was a little taller, I would love it a little bit more, but him and Trae Young, I kind of don't really like together. They did pretty well against the Celtics in the playoffs, better than probably the Chicago Bulls would have done, but I still don't really like the team. They traded for Patty Mills, another smaller guard, so they all can shoot the ball really well in a pretty crazy clip, so they could definitely probably shoot some teams out the water, but overall they doubled down on the smaller ball. Going to be interesting. They got rid of John Collins. I just think I'm not really sure what they got going on. They're in that no man's land like the Chicago Bulls, where they're going to finish best as the 6th seed and probably can go all the way down to the 12th. So I'm definitely a loser with the Atlanta Hawks for my third and almost my final winner of the NBA offseason, and probably the team that everyone's like going crazy about right now because of the Damian Lillard news and the Scoot Henderson news are the Portland Trailblazers. They are a winner to me right now. They're in that beautiful spot. How Scoot Henderson was able to fall to 3 to the Portland Trailblazers. He took over Damian Lillard's 0 and went 0-0. I couldn't believe when I saw that, how he went 0-0 while Dame was 0. Definitely knew Dame was wanting to leave the moment after that, but Scoot Henderson is going to be a superstar, and it's going to be sooner than later. He is incredible to watch. Just like Derrick Rose up here, he can slash and get to any spot on his court and blow by his defender so quickly. It is so much fun to watch during that game and a half, 2 games before he got injured. He was doing anything he wanted on the offensive end. He was just getting to the rim when he wanted to, if he really wanted to that game. And then they got that Shaedon Sharpe, who looked incredible last night in Summer League. He's been balling. So I overall love where they go. And yeah, they signed Jeremy Grant to a huge deal, but hey, they got money to spend. And if once Dame leaves, you still got plenty of money that you're going to fall through the cracks. And maybe after a few years, you could trade the contract. But the Blazers, you're going to get a bunch of picks or some player for Damian Lillard, and I'd be so excited to watch this Scoot Henderson era. It's going to be incredible. He's going to be just like Victor Wembanyama, where they're going to be in the league probably 10 years from now and be like, holy crap, I can't believe Scoot Henderson went 3rd overall in the draft. We all knew Scoot was going to be incredible, but man, how did he go 3rd overall? It's incredible. I love the dude's game so far. I didn't really see much of him last year or even into the combine, and I pretty much love his game. I'm a big point guard fan. As a Bulls fan, we don't really have one, but with Derrick Rose, it was incredible to watch. And I kind of get that Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook vibe where he's going to get to the rim and punish you there. And then there was a lot of parts in this game, like pulling up for the mid-range jumper that I love, kind of like that Chris Paul feel to the game. So I overall love what the Blazers have going forward. They're in a good spot as a franchise overall. And then for my third loser of the NBA offseason, I'm only doing 4, so there's my third one. I'm going to go the Charlotte Hornets. You passed up on Scoot Henderson. I cannot believe you would pass up on Scoot Henderson. Yeah, Brandon Miller just had probably the most incredible game last night against the Blazers and definitely looked great. He was taking it to the rim a little bit more. So it's nothing against Brandon Miller, but they picked LaMelo Ball over Scoot, and probably 5 years from now, it's going to be one of those things where how did they just not take Scoot, and LaMelo Ball's maybe hurt because the Ball family just seems to have this injury plague over this team. Not hoping for an injury at all for LaMelo Ball. Watch him make me eat my own words during this, and that would be awesome. He definitely could probably make me eat my own words, but I think I would rather have Scoot Henderson right now over LaMelo Ball. But I don't really know what the Charlotte Hornets are doing. They're probably going to be picking in the top 5, top 10 again here. Hey, along with my teams here, but I don't see what's going on with them. Michael Jordan kind of made a pick on fit what they needed for the team versus what I think Scoot was probably the pick there. But they were my third loser, and for my final winner of the NBA offseason, the Nets. I like what they did. Cam Johnson signed to a pretty good deal. They got rid of Joe Harris there to Detroit. So I overall like what the Nets are doing. They're probably in a pretty great position to land another superstar. So I think they're in a pretty good spot. And then for my last loser of the NBA offseason, I have the Toronto Raptors. Like, you kind of let Fred VanVleet walk for pretty much nothing. You could have traded him at the deadline. Yeah, you probably couldn't have gotten that great of a deal because it kind of seems like that happens when you all know that this person's going to walk out. But couldn't get anything for him. I think that's a little pretty crazy there. They get to continue with their continuity. That's a big word of the NBA offseason around here. Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, pretty great young players, but they have no point guard to lead this team. And as we kind of watch the NBA during this year, you kind of need some point guard to pass it all around and control the team. Maybe Scotty Barnes does become that guy for the Toronto Raptors. As we saw, he's a pretty good playmaker. But it seems like there's been some rumors that Pascal is on the trading block. OG Anunoby's been on the trading block for seems like a year and a half now. So I wonder what they're going to be doing. They're kind of in that no man's land, like the rest of these teams I have on the losers list, where they're probably going to finish 8th, not 7th, probably best, and then probably could fall out into the lottery. Probably got to hope they land someone great in the NBA draft, but I kind of have them as a loser right now. They're in a kind of a no man's land spot. Probably going to be trading off some of their better players and just pushing all in on that tank. But Masai Ujiri's never really done that, so I really don't know what the Toronto Raptors are doing. Those are my winners and losers so far of the NBA offseason. Some of my little takes on teams that I like going into next season and teams that I just don't know what's going on with them. And those are my winners and losers of the NBA offseason and my little news and notes and little rants about this. Not fully sure how long this video will be, so thank you if you stayed around to the end. I hope you're having a wonderful day. As always, if you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Makes me know you like the content and makes me feel good that I can talk about the NBA here and you guys didn't like it. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Tweet at me. Talk about some NBA takes. I'm going to be posting about my fantasy football stuff here shortly. Cannot wait to jump into this fall for the sports. It's that time of the summer where not much is going on, but a lot more hype and anticipation is going on. As always, keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.